This is Leaf Life. All things cannabis for all people. Now, Ricker and the Bearded Lorax.
Yeah, we publish a free magazine, and it's called The Leaf, and it's available in print in 14 states at your local cannabis retailer, and also available online. Check it out at leafmagazines.com. I'm Mike Ricker, your host of Leaf Life, with my co-host and the founder of The Leaf, Wes Abney, also known as the Bearded Lorax.
I speak for the trees.
And of course, there's the wonderful AJOG.
Hola, aloha, OGs.
And the amazing Mary J. White.
Baked with love.
Reaching orgasm is potentially the most amazing sensation a human being can experience. And as more and more people yearn for a better quality of life through holistic health, how can we improve our mind, body, and spirit by simply letting go sexually? This is the Big O.
O'Reilly.
No.
Buzzkill.
Dude.
Oh my
Jesus
gosh.
Christ,
No,
Wes.
thank
Start the show
you.
over. Our first segment, For Your Health. And in our second segment, Weedgasm. But before we get educated, we've got to get medicated, so let's get stoned. Yep. Oh, this is going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
Mary, you might want to step outside. You don't know anything about this.
I don't. I should probably leave.
Wherever your day has led you now, it's time to fire up, chew up, or drink up, but get in the mood. More than one mood. As we introduce this show's Greg the Guinea Pig.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Greg the Guinea Pig. Who's our guest this week?
Greg the Guinea Pig warning. These tasks are undertaken by experienced cannabis users and under the supervision of accredited professionals. So please take our advice and definitely try this at home.
Yeah, and try the Big O at home. Hey, Celeste Signs is a licensed naturopathic doctor who owns the Naturopathic Center in the Wallingford district of Seattle. Women's Holistic Health was the first show she was on, and now her second appearance for the Big O. Celeste, welcome back to the Leaf Life podcast.
Thank you guys for having me. You guys are so special to me. Thank you.
So sweet.
You're a great guest, so we're going to have you more frequently moving forward, but can't wait to get into this stuff. But first, let's spin AJ's wheel to see what's in AJ's stash.
And now, what's in AJ's stash?
All right, AJ, load it up.
All right, y'all. We've got a Paradise Cove premium cannabis pre-roll.
Nice.
I'm excited about that. Here you go, Celeste.
That's pretty.
This is by Junky Genetics out of California, y'all. They are some of the leaders in our industry. They're OGs. Jay Beasy is their head pheno hunter. He's notorious. He's grown things like wedding cake and Kush mints.
Wow.
Yeah, these guys are the best of the best right here.
Wow, he's got some real strains right there. And by the way, Seed Junky made it onto the cover of our California Leaf Tannins and Terpenes issue. Find it online at leafmagazines.com. You'll see it was shot there at a consumption lounge called Pleasure Med in West Hollywood with the owner, Brian Robinson. It's a pairing of their Wake and Bake cocktail with the Seed Junky Red Eye, a gorgeous photo, and a great pairing written, by the way, by Wes Abney right here. The review was. So, hey.
All
It
right.
tastes delicious. It's very burns really even. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Tastes
definitely.
It's high quality here on the Leaf Life podcast. Seed Junky in the house. She's passing it around. So let's start For Your Health. I mean, let's be real. Is there anything better for your health than an orgasm? Because not only does it have, these spiritual attributes where you can just release your tension, but physically as well, Celeste.
Yeah, the theme in my mind is basically orgasm save the earth.
Well, something better get on the
Seriously.
job real quick.
Yeah. I mean, basically, whenever, you're in that connection, well, something I was considering is all of us remember something. It's basically the thump of our mother's hearts whenever we were in the womb. And so there is something really sacred about when the heart gets pumping and you get into this really sacred kind of connection that's happening with people when you come together or even with your own self. But it's sort of like an internal experience, right? And it binds us. It binds us all because we've all did have that experience. So mentally, it is incredible for releasing any kind of tension, but something on a spiritual level, being a naturopath and just choked a little, is basically like anytime that you do have an orgasm, you're dropping seeds. There is something about in that inspiration, in that sort of basically reflection that starts to happen. Like the mind gets a chance to sort of release a little bit more and think a little bit outside of the box.
Well, you know, what's always interested me as a person who's a huge fan of the Big O, huge fucking fan, but I've found that...
Dare we say number one fan?
I mean, you know, you've been here longer. Yeah. So you're
way longer than all y'all
orgasms.
children. But the interesting thing to me, too, is that you can have like a little one. Right? Then you can have like the ones where like your toes come off and your ears explode.
Really?
Wow.
And, yeah. And then you can have like a medium one.
Right.
You know? But a lot of it does depend on, obviously who you're with, but there is a cosmic component there.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's sport fucking, which is fine and fun and useful. But then there's also like when you're really connected to somebody. And that shit's different.
That's where orgasms come from. I mean, mostly, you know, women, men, we have different, you know, experiences of it physiologically, which we'll get to. But really, it's about connection. So connecting you to the tune of the earth, the tune of the womb that you were in, and then in tune with another person.
Yeah.
And it feels better that way.
Absolutely. Well, and I find too, I'm not to get all into it, but I find that, well, because people, you know, I'm taking a break. I've been Celebrate for several weeks now. It's been terrible.
Weeks, Mary says.
Tonight will be different, I'm sure.
Well, but people say, oh, just masturbate. Well, okay, that's fine. But it's like a sneeze as compared to, as a parent to like jumping off a building. You know? And you can pound your little button with the vibrator, and that's great, you know, in a couple of minutes, you boop, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
Well, it's really what you put into it. That's where the emotional components of it, the health benefits of the emotional orgasm is something to practice regularly. Kind of like if you were to sit in and have a cup of tea, same thing is happening. So you could approach a daily masturbation process.
Like with a different mindset?
Totally. Like as an emotional health thing.
Oh.
Flex that muscle.
Well, I think that what you're touching on, though, Mary.
Yes. What?
Yes.
Not enough.
Took a second. That was the delayed weed reaction. But for men, especially like young men today, there are some pretty disturbing polls out there that say that men haven't approached a woman in a year or haven't had a sexual partner in a year.
What?
And with the proliferation of porn, there is like,
Serious.
you know, it's so easy to do that alone as a male. But I think it's not meant, like, it's great, it feels good, whatever. But the intent is to share that experience with someone. And I think that there are a lot of people out there that are probably lonely by themselves and don't know how to find a partner that can help connect with them and make them feel whole. And I think that's a big problem for young men today.
Well, this is part of it. You know, I teach most of my patients how to connect with like what you would call a chakras. You know, for some people who want that language, I'll go there. But some people they're not ready for that word or that concept. But it's just the body, right? And so when you have an opportunity to connect with yourself, there are what you would see as chakras is like you kind of get lit up. And being lit up, you can't be disconnected from the earth and feel alone if you're lit up. So when you start to kind of have that practice, you start lighting up and you start to kind of feel like there's something around you or that you're kind of not alone because the tissues are there. So that's what I'm trying to kind of connect is that to be with you is to be with all of it, right? To be with the earth entirely because we're little earth. We're walking around with all the earth parts in us. So kind of like when you would get to a beautiful lake and see it and be like, wow, that's really beautiful. You know, you don't have to see it that way, but you can.
Well, and that's why also it feels good.
Yeah, it feels good.
You know, like if it wasn't meant to feel good, like as a Christian, I always have like looked at this interestingly because they're old school church kind of teachings that are like hide the ankles.
Yeah.
You know,
sex is bad
unless it's for the baby. But I don't think God would have made it feel good if it wasn't meant to. And then I'm actually reading a book called The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross, which is about Christian origins in like pagan fertility cults.
Great.
And they believe that when it rained, that it was literally God jizzing on them.
Yeah.
But they didn't think that was weird. They were like, this is being blessed with this, with this, special substance.
Providing life.
And then it would propagate mushrooms and other life. And then they would celebrate that by having sex. And that's like at the core of early Christianity.
Well, so when did it get all uptight and mean? Everybody's so fucking mean about it.
It's a control thing.
But orgasms is universal, right? And it also makes babies. But those of us that are not doing that, instead it makes concepts and it makes connection. And so this is the real practice, is realizing like you could put words to it. That's up here. That's not where the orgasms are really happening. They're happening in the body, right? So you kind of like know what it feels like when you're in the body and you're just like being with that, not in the concept of right or wrong or good or bad, but something really different, something very like primal, powerful. And with consent can really like offer a connection, help people sleep.
Yes.
And it is ancient.
It's ancient.
It's the oldest thing.
This is the oldest thing.
Pre-television. You wonder why people had so many kids back in the day, but before entertainment, that was the thing to do.
It's the creation of life itself.
Yeah.
Therefore, there is something magic.
And mysterious.
Yes. Yeah.
It should be approached with mystery. It's an orgasm,
I like that.
Right?
Do it a mystery.
Worth it.
Beautiful.
And they're all kind of different in their own special way.
Yes.
Each experience is different. Or, when it becomes commonplace or ordinary or repetitive, it loses a certain element of that magic.
Sure.
And that magic that we can't necessarily create, right? Just like by watching porn or buying a new car or whatever. This is the most elemental human experience and it's free.
Yeah.
And so there's something, very viscerally beautiful about the orgasm that is unrivaled in any other aspect of the human experience. Therefore, we should celebrate it more.
Yeah.
Yes.
And orgasm more, Mary.
Okay. I'm going to go home right now and work on it.
All right, Celeste, now it's time for you to play Awkward.
Awkward. Last time I got these all wrong. Whoops. Okay.
We played it last time, huh?
It was something different. I was like, ooh, so I hope I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Don't make it awkward.
Yeah, it's all right. Awkward.
You got this.
So, okay, you ready?
Yes.
All right. This is supposed to be just absolutely normal questions.
Sure.
Totally normal.
No big deal.
Yep. Just, moving right through the show here.
Yep.
Great show, by the way.
Great show.
Yeah. Number 1. Research has shown that orgasms experienced during sex cause us to release 400 times the prolactin, which tends to make people feel sleepy and satiated.
Oh.
I didn't realize I was coming while eating my bowl of pho.
Yeah. What? True. True.
I just had a bad visual.
It's not prolactin, it's oxytocin, so it is false, but everything else feels...
I'm just uncomfortable now. I don't like it.
Unforgettable.
It's an awkward moment.
Okay, go.
Number 2.
God.
You are all about liberation of the mind and body through sex. And Mary J. White has a very naughty podcast. Have you guys ever met our friend AJOG?
That is very awkward. I don't know, y'all.
Awkward.
I'm feeling like on the spot.
Oh, my goodness.
Rickard is good at putting people on the spot.
Yeah.
And number 3.
Yes.
In a 2013 study, it was proven that some women orgasm during childbirth.
Oh.
Wes wants to know then why he doesn't orgasm when he poops.
Oh my God.
Awkward. I mean, some people do.
That's some toilet humor.
There's a lot going on here. I don't know. I don't know where we're at yet.
Ew.
Not sure if I can go there.
That's healthy. That's natural.
I don't know. I think that would be in the awkward category.
God.
Hey, if you want to discover cannabis news, reviews, entertainment, and culture, and explore every single Leaf magazine at your convenience, search leafmagazines.com. Coming up in our second segment, we'll dive into the weedgasm, or how does cannabis play a role in sex? We'll get another spin of AJ's wheel and kick it all off with another episode of Where in the World with Mary J. White. Leaf Life continues in just a moment.
These products have intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming. Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment.
Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug.
There may be health risks associated with consumption of these products.
For use by adults 21 and older.
Keep out of the reach of children.
Some of the wardrobe, including Ricker Wes's sick lids, is provided by Grassroots California. Check out the dopeness at grassrootscalifornia.com.